Greg Burke. What do you do with this one? Thank you very much. Welcome to Sydney, Greg Burke. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead over Newcastle.
Always visualise your opponent as your worst enemy.
Balmain lead 2-0 here at Marathon Stadium. Courtesy of the Greg Burke penalty goal. That was a beauty. Paddy, you were talking about the centres for Balmain. It's obvious that they lack centres because they prefer Tim Brasher there and will only play fullback if absolutely required.
Yeah, look, Tim Brasher's played fullback for the last couple of years. I think he's been wasted there. I believe he's a very good centre, a better centre than a fullback, so he'll be in his rightful spot there. Baysari's yet to prove himself to me as a centre. He goes okay there. They got David Ronson, who's former Manly and West Newcastle player. Actually, he's with the club.
But hang on, we're all forgetting Jason Sinclair, who'll come back into the side, one of the best centre prospects in the game, so they're not too...
But still, it's been their problem over the years. I mean, they've always had strong forwards, and the backs have let them down a little bit.
Now here's the Knights in their own quarter.
Speaking of centres, Brad Godden looking to kickstart his career in the centres now with Newcastle. Not only as a younger player, even state under-18s, etc. He played 5/8 inside centre and some halfback as well. So really the fullback was a little bit foreign to him. Of course, he went away in the '92 World Cup side to England. So maybe the conversion to centre won't be that difficult for Brad Godden.
Graham Lyons bringing it back for Balmain. Gingerly playing the football. Here's Morvan Edwards. Smith. And Graham Lyons getting some attention. Here's Blogger.
Yes, another interesting player for Balmain, Richie Connell. He's a new buy. He's a very powerful runner, a bit like Cairn for Brisbane.
And the penalty to Balmain. Richie Connell is actually, I've done my homework on him. He's a West junior who couldn't get a go there. He went to the bush last year, played in the country, and he's joined up with Balmain. Very likely looking prospect. Graham Lyons in a deal of pain there. Probably a rib or stomach problem.
Well, you don't think it's his foot or something, Paul?
No, it's not his leg or his head.
The giveaway was the hand on the stomach.
You're a hard man, Snorkel.
Well, Lyons has rejected the offer of a lift from the Medicar, and he's going to walk off.
Well, he was a metre from the sideline at the time.
A chance here for Balmain to extend a 2-point lead. Ed Burke stepping up to attempt this penalty conversion. Not as easy as the first one, much a similar distance, much more to the side of the post as he comes in.
And he's pushed that one away to the left. So it remains 2-0, Balmain over Newcastle. Less than 4 to the first quarter break. And the Knights with the restart. Here's Edwards. Big Ed Med. Saw him get knocked senseless in the sevens a week or so ago. No harm done.
Ooh. Oh, great shot. There's David Mullane leading the charge there with the shoulder as the flick past Malais finds vacant territory until a Newcastle player dives on it. That player, Mark Glanville, has been hurt in the clean-up attempt. So what about, well, in fact, that's Glanville, so it must be Mullane once again, but what a great front-on defensive tackle.
Some very solid defence out there from both teams in this first quarter. Leo Davis will play at about 5 short of the halfway mark. Pro.
And already, Paul, we see a different style of play to some extent from the Newcastle team with no Michael Hagan in the side this year.
Yeah, more straight up running. And those cutout plays, we haven't seen one produced yet tonight. I'm sure we will through the likes of Rodwell. And so as the kick goes into touch there, Dave Ronson. He's snared a spot in the side. Former Manly player, played for us in '87 in the grand final. And left at the end of '91, went to Hull, came back through West and Newcastle last year, now with Balmain.
The scrum right on the Balmain quarter. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this first quarter. Scrums are even. Now here's Edwards. Well caught. His tackle. By Surrey. Plenty of space there. Wants another to play it. Elias, the dummy, and then comes back the other way.
Yeah, good mark of the defence there from Steve Crow, the 15, one of the interchange players who's come on. As Nathan Wood, he'll get a penalty here.
He called it.
The referee ruled he was taken out by the Newcastle player, and it did look that way. Sometimes those can be pretty harsh penalties against the defensive side. But I think McCormack's, he actually made a movement into the player, and that accentuated Wood finding the ground. He's turned his back, put the shoulder into him. Better off just turning around and not playing any part and hoping that they will run into the back of you.
The third opportunity for Greg Burke. This is possibly the easiest kick he's had. It's about in line with the left hand upright. And he's just over the 30-metre mark.
Well, that's a lot of penalties for 20 minutes of football.
50% record for Burke. Unfortunately for him and for his side, that one to the right. There is the siren to end the first quarter. So we go to the break with Balmain leading over Newcastle 2-0. Back shortly. And time signal back on for the start of the second quarter here at Newcastle. The Newcastle Knights and the Balmain Tigers, with Balmain up 2-0. What has been a fairly bruising first 20 minutes.
Yeah, not a bad way to start the second 20 minutes either. Martin Masala, or Masala, I think he prefers to be called. A very good front-on tackle on David Smith. It's been a feature of this first 21 minutes, the front-on hitting.
First mistake of the second quarter, and Balmain will come up with possession. Just inside the 30-metre mark. McVeigh to the quarter. Here's Surin. Inside the quarter now, Elias. With the switch. Here's Baysari. And Salah. Now they're only about 6 metres out. Not the best pass. Wood sends the long one out for Robinson.
Well, they've gone from 6 metres out to 36 metres out. And the tackle made by Brad Godden as Mark Guy comes forward, looks for support on the shoulder. Wood does a good job to run into a hole and run into another one. Picks up Morgan Edwards. Back to the man who scored the first point through the goal in Greg Burke. And he's got all their points so far. And what about the call of the try, Paul Gordon? Great work from Balmain.
But a great try all the same. And it was Mark Guy who took a chance on the fifth tackle and running the football. It was the fifth. Thought he might have kicked a nice ball onto Wood, and he's beaten 3 or 4 of them here with a deft step. And then the support was out to the left. Edwards did well to draw and pass, and Burke's beaten 4 of them again.
Well, there wasn't a great deal of defence out there, was it? Brad Godden, I thought, was fairly slow in reacting to that. David Smith is nowhere to be seen. He must have been in field somewhere. In fact, there he was, just flashing across the screen now. So when the ball came out to Burke, There really wasn't anyone in front of him. It was just scrambling cover defence having to come across. He had the good evasion off the left foot to get inside and then improve the position.
So here's Burke. He has scored all of them so far, and it is now Greg Burke 8 and Newcastle 0.
A good ending to a try here. Nathan Wood involved all the way through it. Good pass from Guy. Good quick hands there from Morven Edwards, and then some despairing dives from Newcastle and Greg Burke under the post.
The Tigers up 8-0. Let's start to the second quarter for them. Great debut for Burke. Now, Steve Roach, he'd be a happy boy down there.
Yeah, Junior would be very happy. Yeah, good start to the second quarter for the Balmain Tigers. There was a lot of positive talk in the Balmain huddle. What they're saying is, look, Newcastle can't go around you. They haven't got the personnel to go around you. They'll try and come through you. If your defence sticks, they'll win the game.
Steve, it was very obvious from up here. As another big charge from Geyer is a good one. But Bill Anderson was doing a fair bit of talking, as a penalty will go Balmain's way. So they're on a roll at the beginning of this second quarter. What is his capacity with Wayne Pearce?
He's Wayne's assistant coach. I mean, look, Junior got in there and said bulk of it before Billy came in. So that's one thing. He says what he's got to say first.
A big start to this game, Mark Geyer. Well, he has made some telling charges through the pass to Nathan Wood, and even though Wood had to do a little bit of fancy stepping to create something, it was a well-weighted pass to put him into half a hole. And what a player he could be for them if he can play every week, play unwounded and play close to the best of his ability.
And here's McVeigh. 30 out from the Newcastle line. Sirenen straight up the middle, big Ciro. Elias making up with Wood. And now inside the quarter. Right. Kept the football alive. Back for Marcella. 5 tackles gone. Elias wants it. Straight up and down in the one spot. The Knights come up with it. Rodwell.
Now a good run by Ainsko. Still going. Not the greatest kick I've ever seen by Elias. And no Balmain players contested it.
About earlier I said pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
Again, that's probably a reflection of the conditions out there. Storm earlier tonight has made difficult kicking, even though it's made it so much more important. That was close to forward there. David Smith taking it over the 40-metre line.
The Balmain player has not moved. Is it Benny? No, it's not Elias. I'll pick him up for you shortly, but he's flat on his back and they're concerned about him as well.
Well, Ainsko ruled to be inside the 10 metres from that kick. Touch judge now coming on. Not sure. No, it's not Elias.
No, it's not Elias. Very difficult to pick up who it is from that angle. They called for some medical assistance for him.
Let's have a look here. It's Glanville going up. Now it's Mark Geyer. He's run straight into Paul Sirenen. Totally accidental. And up comes the mini cab. Mini hospital with the Channel 9 logo on the side. And as soon as it arrives, Guy's up and jogs back into position.
He can't get a passenger.
Well, what about that for recuperative powers?
He couldn't buy one this bloke. The minicab.
Maybe he runs a metre on it, doesn't he?